Welcome to Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Welcome, folks.
Welcome indeed. You made it.
Well, yes, I did. Boy, my internet went down for a little bit, and I didn't think I was going to get on here tonight, but I finally got it. So,
well, you may be getting something free from that storm.
Yeah, we're already getting a little rain from it for sure.
And I don't know what we're getting. I think we're bugging out.
Are you?
Probably Wednesday. Yeah, going to head west.
Yeah, it looked like it was going right up your way.
Well, it's supposed to be coming in, right there and go right over us with the right part of the eye. So I think we're going to go west probably Wednesday. We're supposed to head down to Naples tomorrow.
Right.
Then ain't no way. That would be a foolish move.
Yes, because everybody's trying to get out of here and get away from it. So, folks, if the storm's coming your way, be careful for sure.
Yeah, I mean, what would be the reason for me to go to Naples and sit down there, and with the power probably going to go out? I couldn't go out on the beaches anyway.
Yeah.
And everything being shut down. So I may head to Mississippi.
Oh, that's good. You could do some beach hunting and a little gambling too.
Well, I don't think I'll go there. I think I'll probably go to Laurel if we decided to go that way, and see what's shaking there. But everybody out there, be careful now. If there is no treasure tails on Thursday night, it's going to be because of the storm.
Yeah.
But if we bug out west, there will be, because I'll be at a place where there's internet. So
yes.
But you just be careful down there, because I know it takes at least 30 Al Qaeda to bust you out of there to get you to go anywhere. So,
well, my house, Jeff, is 100 years old, so or almost 100. It's seen a few hurricanes, so I'm really not that worried. Hopefully, it'll only be a Category 2, and it won't be that bad. And hopefully, it just skirts a little west of us. But still, we're on the dirty side, or the worst side of the storm. So
yeah, and they're calling for it to sit out there and churn. And if it goes through 2 or 3 tide cycles out there churning, because you're not that far off the Hillsborough River,
right?
Doesn't the Hillsborough River go right into Tampa Bay?
Yes, it does. It'll push the water up Tampa Bay into the Hillsborough River. The way the winds blow, it'll blow water in the river. But I'm 28 feet above sea level, so.
Well, let's just hope strange things don't come up in your commode.
Yeah.
You never know.
Oh, don't say that. That would ruin my day. Yes.
No, that wouldn't be good. So let's
be mad at me for sure.
Let's get her kicked.
Well, also, hey, I'm gonna do an announcement right now. We'll talk real quick. Manicure. Debbie from Mind Lab's going to bring that by. Hopefully, if the shop's still there, October the 5th. She's going to bring the new Mind Lab manicure, and once again, like I've always said, the consumer wins, because hopefully this detector has more features and is just good for the consumer. Now with all these multi-frequencies, we have the Deus 2, we have the Equinox, we have the Manicure, and now we have the Legend also. So I'm waiting for Garrett to come out with their waterproof, and Fisher to come out with the waterproof multi-frequency. And then the consumer always wins, because they have just so many new products. So
they do.
It'll be a good one. We'll see.
And also, while we're doing this, this is you've got 24 of these coming your way.
Oh, yes. I wanted to ask about Dan's lanyard for sure.
This is Dan's lanyard that he's made. He was on Treasure Tales a week or so ago, and I asked him about it. And this is made specifically for the Deus 2.
Yes.
And this is really a neat little outfit, because, yes, the Deus 2 does come with a little bitty thing to help secure it on there, but it's not that strong. Now, what this one will do, and this is strong, this is thick paracord. This will go around your shaft and secure it. It's got a little bit of a lanyard on it. And then it's got a smaller paracord, which is a lot thicker, to go through the bottom of the Deus 2 remote control and folds back on itself. And it's got a little a clicker type thing here. So if you have to take it apart, take your headset off and you can put it back on. But this will secure your Deus 2 to your shaft. So if you're hunting in the water or you're hunting out in the field and you bump it and it pops off, you're not going to lose it, because that's about an $800 loss right there.
Yes. And the Deus 2 does come with that little lanyard, but when I looked at it, I thought, boy, that thing's mighty thin. The way I'd probably break that thread and then it'd be gone. But
so you've got 24 of them coming your way this week.
Awesome. And I've got reordered some more lanyards from Dan also, so they'll probably be on the way too. And we even have the pink ones for the ladies if they want the pink Dan's lanyard for their pinpointers and whatnot.
That's right. It's a great product, and I'm very excited to. I didn't put it on yet because I wanted to show it, but this is exactly what we talked about the other night. Dan got on. He says, "Boom, I can do that." And here you go. And that is a fine piece of work.
All righty. Well, I guess I better run through where our notice is, right?
Yep.
Today's show is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by the Treasure Talk guests and members belong solely to the guests and members and not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Myers Metal Detectors, or Jeff Monin. And of course, the purpose of Treasure Talk, which is the most important thing here, is to promote the hobby of treasure hunting and metal detecting and to educate our members in a fun, informative manner. So we're going to do that, Jeff?
Yeah, you did that good. There's got something here that came across in the chat from a Facebook user. I don't know who it is. It says, just so you know, your show is running into the Dart impact in 8 minutes. Whatever the Dart impact is, I have no clue.
I don't know either. But it's a good thing I got my Excalibur digger here. So if that's trouble, I'll have a tool to defend.
Right. I've got mine right in here too, so I can stab somebody for show.
I don't know what that is, Jeff, but hey, it's the internet.
Hey, that's it. That it.
Now that it?
Yeah, so we ain't closed, that's for sure. We open.
We open tomorrow.
That's right.
I don't know about Wednesday, but we're open tomorrow.
Oh, Tom Becker said it's when the spacecraft hit the asteroid. Yeah, that's old.
Okay.
That's old. We need to get our guest on here.
Oh, yes, absolutely, for sure.
Because he's got a lot of good stuff. He's got probably some new stuff. And all that kind of stuff. So
y'all have Excalibur shirt on too. So.
Yeah, I didn't. I was in. I had a doctor's appointment late this afternoon, so I didn't get home in time to change. But I got my hat, and I was styling and profiling.
Well, I got my hair cut, so I didn't need to wear a hat today.
Ah, well, I didn't, but I like this hat, so
good.
So anyway, this young man makes the absolute finest, and I mean total absolute finest digging products on the planet. And I remember back when I first discovered them, and I got a hold of Phil, the guru. I said, you got to check these out. And as soon as he saw me, he says, I want them. And he's been selling a lot of them. And Casey is just a tremendous individual. He is the official sponsor, one of the sponsors, along with Myers Metal Detectors, of the Blue Spades Society. And so let's just bring him on right now. Casey Dittman, the Key Date Kid of Excalibur Shovels. Hello, Casey.
Hey, guys.
Hey, I got my shirt on, so Jeff's got his hat.
Awesome. I got mine on.
Awesome.
Sorry about the crummy background here. I was trying to do the digging Canuck, but I don't have the setup quite like her.
And she's got green screens and purple screens and
Looks like MGM Studios behind her.
Yeah, she's cool. Casey, there's another manufacturer makes shovels similar to yours, but they're so heavy. I just love the wide shovel. I love your product, and I'm glad we got it in the shop.
Thanks.
Sure.
Yep, this is the widey here. We got some going. The wide spade.
And what color did you say this one is?
That's my secret color. It's a request only color. It's called Golden Night.
Golden Night, and then that's the same for the digger too.
Yep, and that color is awesome. People love that color. I just made a shovel for Michael Bennett, and I painted it that color. Well, I powder coated it that color for him. You guys know who Michael Bennett is?
No.
Anybody in the chat?
I don't know if he's in the chat or not. I haven't really looked at it.
I just want to see if anybody in the chat knows who Michael Bennett is. But he's going to go to England. He's going to England this Thursday. And he said that the shovel, like you say, Jeff, the shovels over there are they're standard, just gardening shovels. So they just don't work as well. So he wanted one that would break down. And we hooked him up with a Merlin. Yep. The first one to get it was TTJ Naylor. It's a Nugget Noggin.
Yeah,
so
Nugget Noggin.
He contacted me. He wanted one that would break down. He could take it over there. That's good. He wanted the wide spade. We got him set up, and he's going to have it for England now. He wrote me today and said he received it and loves it. So super stoked. I can't believe it. In my wildest dreams, I'd be working with people like Nugget Noggin. And I just got followed the other day on my Instagram by Diggers King George and making shovels for Bill Ladd and things like that. Just it's an incredible honor to be involved.
Hey, look at it this way, Casey. You get to work with us too.
It's
that,
in the Canuck, and I owe it to you guys in the Canuck. And if you guys didn't give me a chance and take me on, I probably wouldn't have had these kind of connections. So it's you don't forget where you come from. That's for sure. But we got a Merlin here in Blue Spade.
And I have a friend of mine who's going to England in another week or so, Dan Graham, who as soon as he saw the Merlin, he ordered one. He's taken that to England with him. And the Mumbles man, TJ Naylor, he got a Merlin. So I mean, it's absolutely the best digging utensils on the planet. There's no doubt in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I got a question here too from Tom Becker, and he's saying, Casey, do you make a carrier for the Sir K D handle while you're in the field?
I don't, but it would not be hard to do that at all. I could probably make one out of metal. I could make one out of metal, but I would really have to think that through to think about what the best way to do it would be. Probably a combination of leather and metal, something like that. Something you can cook on your belt, something you could maybe lasso over your shoulder. Things like that I've thought about, like you just do a sling for over your shoulder through the D handle. But I haven't made anything. It's all the innovative, other extracurricular things that I do besides making the shovels, like working on my picks and working on other things like that. I'm so busy now making shovels that I can't even work on. I'm having trouble keeping up with my new stuff. So it's a good thing though.
Oh yeah,
it's better to be busy.
The T handles, you can use one of the I think Detector Pro makes it. We stock them. The shovel holster.
Yeah.
That T handle will just fit in there. It's a plastic piece you slide over your belt if you don't want to carry it. But I guess I'm used to my shovel weight, and it's not that heavy, and I just carry it mine most of the time. I don't put it on the holster. Yeah,
they are really light shovels. It's when you have this high strength steel like this is like a future metal here. It can be because it's so strong. And even the 40-inch T handle, so a 40-inch T handle that's got the wide spade, which is 9 inches long and 7 inches wide, that weighs 3.5 pounds, 3.5 pounds. Put it on your scale. I've weighed, probably 20 or 30 of them now just to make sure. And they weigh 3.5 pounds. That is super light considering, if you're at the gym and you look at the weight rack, the lightest weights at the gym are going to be 5 pounds. Maybe sometimes there's 2.5ers, but 5 pounds. You're carrying something that's almost 2 pounds lighter, or 1.5 pounds lighter. If you have a 40-inch, that's a long shovel. Mm-hmm. So you get into these smaller ones right here, like this is a 31-inch Merlin with the D handle, and they weigh just under 3 pounds. So you're carrying a very lightweight shovel with you, and that's the beauty in it.
And it's so strong too, because you can crank on them puppies.
On the Merlin, can you put the wide shovel on that Merlin?
Yeah, yep. I've done them where I can do that, and I've got the fabrication process down now, where it's almost to the point where I can just, if somebody has something and they're like, hey, I want to buy a wide spade for it, I can just fabricate it and send it to them. It'll connect to what they have. But it did take it. There's a slope with the learning process and everything. And for a while, I just advertised them as, you got to get everything from me firsthand, or you're going to have to send it back to me. But we're almost there. We're almost to the point where it's machine, it's like a machine, but not, because I'm doing it all by hand.
Well, you're about due to place an order, probably, Phil.
Yeah, I'm going to have to call you tomorrow and order some of these diggers, because I think we're just about out of them.
They're pretty sweet. And people love that color.
Yes, I love the color. And then I have a friend of mine made me a wider leather sheath for it.
Nice.
I like yours too. People want yours, and then I have a wider one for myself. So,
yeah, and they fit into pretty much all the sheaths I've seen. Sometimes it's a little tight, but for the most part, anything it fits in.
Yeah, it's just an awesome setup. If you want the deluxe shovel, that's it. Buy it once.
Yeah.
Buy again, for sure.
And then you gotta make it, because you make them in the varying lengths depending for the people, because there's nothing worse. And that's why I said yours is the perfect shovel, the Merlin, to take to England, because if you're over there with a group, say 7 or 10 other people, and you're a little slow in the draw, and you don't get it, you may end up with a real short shovel that is breaking your back, and it's not a great shovel either. Yeah, because they only have so many shovels. And they're varying kinds, and they get used every group, and they don't get sharpened, they get dinged up, and so like I said, if you're a serious hunter and you are going to England, then you need to either call Phil and order a Merlin. Get a Merlin, because you can put it right in your suitcase, and you will have the best shovel of anybody over there. And you won't be sorry that you did it, let me tell you. Because when you're digging those deep hammered coins, that Merlin's going to cut right through there, pop it up, and you are going to be in love with the Merlin, let me tell you.
Yep. And I did I've been doing work on my website. So I did a section, I think it's in the blog, where I talk about fitting a shovel to yourself. It's just my personal beliefs on how to fit a shovel to yourself. But there are, some people really know exactly what they want already or have an idea. But just in case you want to have a general idea, it's on my website. And I explain kind of how it works and why I say that the one that's, the 31-incher, that's the one I kind of lean towards. But that's, meaning I'm going to go for, 6 to 12 hours, detecting. And I just, to carry something that's that lightweight, under 3 pounds all day long, you can use it. It works really well like a cane when it's that length. So you can be like a tripod on a hill. I like to go on the hillsides and hit those and and it's like a tripod. You can really help yourself move around like that. But the longer ones you can use them the same way as well. But it's probably easier to use the length to measure from your knuckles to the ground.
Well, then there's people that are very tall like Phil that need a longer shovel.
Yep.
Yeah, the 36 or the 40 is nice. Hey, now are you coming out with any new products? You're working on any new stuff right now?
I've been working on a pick, and so I've got to get that one out and going. I've got one more. I usually take about 3 to 5 prototypes before I release something to the public, just to make sure that the engineering behind it and everything, the construction is good and sound, and it's all the ergonomics and everything. We work it all out and make sure that it's fine tuned. I don't just throw something together and try it out to see if people like it. I invest a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of research into something before I release it.
Now the pick, are you using it for gold, finding gold? Or?
It could be, but this pick is going to be more for compact surfaces where the dirt is incredibly dense. So it's like a shovel pick. It kind of has a little bit of a shovel effect to it. So you can move some dirt
for bottle digging, right?
Yeah, and we're good for bottle digging. A lot of people like to go into the road, the old roads where they're doing construction on the roads, and those things they've been ran over with bulldozers and rollers and all that, and so they're just so compact that getting a shovel, even though I'll do it, I'll go out with my Excalibur and just my shovel and just pound it into the ground and just chip all the coins out, not chip the coins, but chip them out, and do it that way. And it is very effective, but a pick in that condition is going to be a little bit better for you.
We got a question from Delco Detecting. Wants to know, will the pick have a magnet?
No. But I do see why people use a magnet, but not currently. Could be in the future, because I understand why people use the magnets on them.
Yeah, Garrett had a nice one. I don't know if they still make that had a magnet on the end of it, and I never stocked them at the shop because we're in Florida and we're not selling gold picks. But I did use a pick when I went to Arizona with Mine Lab, and I understand why you would need a pick in certain kinds of ground. It's just nice to have that. So that would be a nice tool to have in your box when you're bottle digging or doing whatever, and you come across compact ground, just to have that in the truck or in your pack or whatnot.
Oh yeah,
good idea to have it for sure.
Now, are you going to make the picks in the different colors, Case?
Yeah. Yep. I am. I'll make them in all the colors. And I can't believe y'all. I can't believe all the combinations you guys are asking for now. It's insane. These what you all are doing to me. But hey, I just like to come through. I look at myself. I get multiple emails a week of people like telling me how much they like them. It's just very touching. But y'all just never cease to amaze me on these. There's one I finished the other day, and let me show you a picture here. Oh, it's not going to show it very well. No, that shovel is the Arizona state flag colors. So
oh my goodness.
So they had me paint it 4 colors. So blue and red and yellow and orange. And I didn't know how it was going to come out. Came out great.
Well, I think one of our people in the chat summed it up in one few words. He said, and this is from the Mumbles Man, he makes top quality products. And that is, there's no doubt in my mind. Because here's the thing, Casey, when I saw him and I turned Phil on to him, I knew that Phil was going to want them because Phil only likes to handle good quality products. He doesn't want stuff in there he's going to have to worry about or get a bunch of complaints on and this, that, and the other thing. So I said, this is made for Phil to stock. And as soon as he saw him, he said, yeah, that's good quality. Let's go. Let's do it. You know?
And it's still it's heavy duty quality, but it's not like super heavy. That's the cool thing about it. And And I think your colors, you've got a little artistic ability there because the colors really make it nice. And let's face it, not everybody wants just to have a black shovel or a gray shovel.
Right.
People want to have stand out, and I think detecting is no different than any other thing in life. They want something a little different, and the colors is nice. Some of those bright orange colors that people love and say, "I'll never lose that." You
Well,
know,
they may want their school color too, their college color.
right? They won't
There's
lose
a
it.
lot of that.
So the colors have a purpose. Absolutely. So that's
Right.
good.
The bright colors, you could always find them if you leave it in the field. Um, so there's lots of things. I throw the glow in the dark tape. That's kind of like my cherry on top, my finisher on them.
That's
And so,
right.
you're out at night. You're out at night. You can find it in the evening. You can find it if you leave it on the ground. Me, I'll go out in the sagebrush and I'll find something and run and grab my buddy and come back. Well, I can't find my detector and shovel because there's, it's like a maze of sagebrush. So it can get, having that on there, it helps you pick them up.
Well, maybe we'll talk to Dan at Dan's Lanyards. He can make a Excalibur shovel lanyard.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to lose the shovel.
With the lanyard. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, they are really like artwork for me. People do say they look like a piece of art, and I fabricate every single one. I don't, it's all hand fabricated. All this is done by hand, and it's just a passion. And I just love to do it. I love when I'm out in the shop making them. It's so fun to think about all the cool adventures you're going to go on. And I like to go on lots of fun adventures myself. So I can completely relate to everybody.
We're doing our best to keep your butt in the shop, Casey.
Yeah, there you go. No more adventures for you.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of like we're the shovel Nazi. No more adventures for you.
Right. The thing is the less I go, the more I appreciate it, and I'm going all the time, then I'll just kind of get a little burned out on it. But only going once a week for me right now, it's been good because I really appreciate it when I'm out there and I enjoy it a lot more.
And when you do go, which shovel do you use?
Well, I've been using a 31-inch D handle with a wide spade, and I've been using that out in the ghost towns, just because I'm not digging in people's lawns. If I hit a lawn, even though the wide spade would be great for a lawn, if I hit a lawn, I'll go with the standard spade right here, this is 4.5 by 8 inches. So I'll go with this one, and I usually use the Cirque. This is a Lancelot. This is what a gentleman ordered. So it's great. It's got, you got some serration. So you got some root slaying capabilities here. So that's going to work out well for you. But I like the standard spade, but in the ghost towns, I'm doing a lot more scooping and detecting the pile and then detecting the hole, as opposed to on a lawn. I cut a plug, then as soon as I get the plug cut, I might wave over it, see if it's in the plug or in the hole. But as soon as I get the plug cut, I'm usually down with the pinpointer, finding the target, then going in with a hand digger and carefully chiseling around it and getting the target out. So the standard spade I like to use for grass.
The wide spade would be my choice for hunting in England if you're a field hunter.
Yeah, a field hunter.
Yeah, because you're doing a lot of kind of like you said, Casey, you're scooping some, because if you get it just right and they've just freshly plowed the fields, and then harrow them down, you don't have to go so deep necessarily, but you may have to do some scooping, and that would work out real good.
Yes. And so that's what I say is the wide spade's great for like farmers' fields. A lot of times, you're out detecting, you find a dump, a privy or where a dump is, and you're like, man, I'm going to dig some bottles. With the wide spade, you can get in there and you can move a lot of dirt. It's going to take some time if you're trying to move a lot of dirt with this standard spade. So the wide spade would be good for digging in the dumps.
Mm-hmm.
And, just generally grass, I try to stay with the smaller spade. It just keeps you more tidy, because you're not so much of a digger and scooper and and detect pile and
Right.
detect.
You're cutting more of a precise plug if you're hunting in a place that dictates that.
Correct. Yeah, you
Yeah.
just want to be more tidy. Don't want to upset people with their lawn and then hurt people in the future's chances of getting on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Fiorella asked if it'll cut through tree roots. And
Yes.
you used it in some tree roots, haven't you, Phil?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It'll go through tree roots. Go through anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
just like butter.
yeah. If you get a tree root that's like more than 2 inches in diameter, you're gonna need a hatchet if you're gonna do that, and then that can affect trees if you start cutting that size. They die from the top down when you start chopping in roots like that. But if it's an inch and a half and smaller, these things will munch it up. And I've actually seen people, I've seen them get in there on like a 3-inch root, and they just get up there with this and they just saw it, and they cut the root with it, and it's like, wow, that's surprising. But
Yeah.
typically easily through 1.5 to 2 inch, you can cut through those.
Most of the time, I try to dig underneath the root. I leave the root alone.
Mhm.
I don't want to take that time to cut through it.
And actually, I have these little little pieces right here, these little serrations, and I call them in my patent. They're called dew claws, and what it does is it causes a wear right in here. So this will start to wear in here. So when you're going down with the shovel, this will be worn in a little bit from these. So when you're going down, it will keep the shovel on top of the root as opposed to sliding to the side so much, so you can start to get it in there. Then afterwards, once you get it started with this, now you can start to cut it. It's, when you play around with them for a long time, you kind of figure out some stuff and some ways to tweak it. There's so many things going on in here that really the simplicity of them, there's beauty in the simplicity with all the things going on. And I have people comment to me about it often. They're like, I didn't even realize, I didn't realize this and that the hand grip in the center is the center of weight, so that when you're traveling, you don't have it sliding back and forth in your hand. It's in the center of weight, the hand grip.
Yeah.
There's so many little extras going on here.
Yeah. So,
Well,
Casey, why don't you tell the folks where you're at? What part of the country?
I'm in Salt Lake City.
Okay.
I'm in Sandy. It's just a city right suburb of Salt Lake City.
Awesome.
We
And
got a question from Jerry Talley. He wants to know if you can order one shovel handle, like say it was a Cirque D handle, and with the two heads, with a narrow shovel head and a wide shovel head. That would be a Merlin, correct?
Yeah.
Is that possible to do that?
Yeah. We can get you set up. You just have to email me for it. There's a few guys that have done that. I've sent a few with the wide spade and the standard spade. Digging Canuck has that. My buddy I dig with, I have him test everything out, because he's going out every day. His wife is he's going every day finding tear outs. So I'm like, dude, you got to use these shovels so I can get some, do some research and development off you.
Heck yeah. Well, you know what we ought to do? I think we ought to give away a hand digger. What do you think?
I think it sounds good. It will be accompanied with, since I've been so busy, I'm out of them, so I'll be fabricating it, but it'll come with this leather sheath here. And then Phil has a hand digger, so if you want to see an example of that, and your color, your choice. I've got a new color, and my new color that I'm adding, I haven't named it, but my new color is yellow. So I've got yellow now.
Oh, that'll be cool.
That's my 9th color.
That will
But if
be
you have a
cool.
color you want, you can just contact me.
And you'll get your name on it too.
Yep.
So what we had to do, and we had a lot of entries. We had well over 200 plus entries
oh, geez.
on Facebook and YouTube. And what you had to do, you have to put down a phrase. And the phrase you had to use is Excalibur shovels make the best digging implements on the planet, which is a true statement. So what we do, I've got the names drawn. The first name I'll call. You'll have 3 minutes to text or Facebook Messenger to Phil or myself. My phone number is on the bottom of the screen. So is Phil's. It might be best to text because my Facebook was hacked and I lost everything. So, let's try that. But you got 3 minutes from right now. It's going to be at 36 minutes after the hour. So it's 39 minutes after the hour. We're going to go on to another name. So, and the first name is Patty Disharoon. Patty, if you are watching, you have won a custom hand digger from Excalibur Shovels. You got 3 minutes to text or messenger Phil or myself.
The winner again, Jeff?
Patty Disharoon.
Patty Disharoon.
Congratulations, Patty.
She is going to be so happy. She best be watching too. Otherwise, she'll kill herself because she didn't get it.
Pick out the fancy color.
That's right. That's right.
I think that is just such a cool selling feature. I love that color. I mean,
It's sweet. It's sweet. You see car like SUVs that are black with that color or rim on them. They look so good. I was like, man, I want to put that on a shovel.
And why are they so shiny like that? Do you coat that with something, or is that just the paint?
That's just the powder coat. Yeah, they have gloss levels that you can get, and that one's a high gloss finish. Most of the powder coat I use is going to be a lower, more close to a flat or a matte finish. What I do is I have a textured powder coat that goes on first, and it's these little things that I do. So it goes with, I put a textured powder coat on first, and it's a grip powder coat, and then I'll coat over it with the color. And so that's it. The flatter colors tend to coat better and keep the grip. When I use a gloss, the gloss will fill in all the little valleys and everything and just make it smooth again.
Well, it's an awesome digger, and anybody would be lucky to have this one. If you're not the winner tonight, for sure you can pick them up in the store, because we have them, and I will be there tomorrow. I don't know about Wednesday or Thursday. Of course,
I'm going to play that by ear.
Yeah, I'm not going during a hurricane. So normally this time of year, I sell a lot of water detectors whenever there's a storm out in the Gulf, or especially on the East Coast, because people on our coast will come in and buy a detector and head over to the East Coast. I don't know why they want to do that. The best time to do those beaches are after a nor'easter, when you can actually get on the beach and you don't have to worry about the police shutting the roads down. And for safety purposes, they won't let you out on the beach during a storm, or even right after a storm.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny about that.
Well, that's got to give people some treasure fever.
Oh, it does. Whenever there's a storm especially on the East Coast, my phone rings off the wall.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And well, they got treasure fever anyway, but this just amps it up a little bit.
Yes, it does.
Well, it looks like Patty did not make it. She's got 4 seconds, and she must not be watching, so she loses out. So I'm going to call another name.
That's good.
So we've got the second name, and you got 3 minutes. Chief Digger, if you're watching, you just won a fantastic prize.
You could win a hand digger like this. Yes.
That's right.
Chief Digger. With a name like Chief Digger, you need a digger like
That's
this.
right. That is exactly true. Tom
Okay,
Becker wanted to know if there was any kind of a pattern to the dots on the handles, Casey.
Yeah, there's a pattern to it. It's kind of got like a mace looking pattern, but yeah, it's a 3-2-3-2 pattern on there. And yeah, it's really, it's set up to just catch your fingers in the right spot. It fits right between these fingers here. And yeah, it's just spent so much time. I can't believe it that I've spent this much time working on a shovel. But
well,
and then everybody around me that's close to me is tired of hearing me talk about this stuff and metal detecting. So it's when I get on here, I just can't stop talking.
Yeah, I think my wife gets tired of me talking about metal detecting too.
Yep, wherever I go, I just if I'm going on vacation. I just went down in San Diego with my mom. She was in the arts festival, and it got rained out from like a typhoon or something there, so they canceled it. But everywhere we went to the Hotel Coronado, and I was just like, I want a metal detector here. Everywhere I go, I cannot have just a relaxing vacation and anything relaxing. I just am like always thinking, I want a metal detector here. I wish I had my metal detector. It's a crazy obsession of mine.
Did you bring it with you when you went on the trip?
I didn't, because I really wanted to help my mom with her artwork at the arts festival. So I was like, you're going to leave it. It was a big leap for me to leave that detector home. But I really want to come through for my mom.
Yep, we've got a winner.
Chief?
Yeah.
Chief Digger.
Chief Digger is here.
Congratulations, Chief.
Now, Casey, what information
Smells
do you
good.
want besides their name, address, phone number, email, and you want the color that they want?
Yeah.
And what they want engraved on it?
Yeah, if they want their nickname, Chief Digger, stamped on, we can stamp Chief Digger on it for him.
Okay, so I'm sure that they heard that. So you send that email to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com. I will get it forwarded to Casey. He'll get it fabricated up for you and mailed out. And you are one lucky person. You are going to be happy, happy, happy. And somebody else at Delco Detecting wanted to know once again, what's the color that you're holding, Phil?
Golden Night. It's a secret color. So if you want it, you have to put it in the comment box.
Yes, it's a secret color. The Golden Night. I think it's the best color myself. Unless you want one of the, the more bright ones, but I just love that feel, and the color on it is perfect.
Yeah.
The feel
is really cool.
And now this end tip, is that glow in the dark too?
Yeah. Yeah, that's glow in the dark on there. So if you're digging in the evening or night, you drop it on the ground. It's funny because they say like it glows for like 7 hours off 30 minutes of light, which you're like, no, it stops glowing after like 5 minutes or something. But it actually does glow. I'll wake up at night and I'll go to the bathroom and the lights haven't been on, and there's still like a light glow to them. So if you're out there and you drop it in the pitch black dark, you really will, even with just 30 minutes or 15 minutes of light exposed to it, there's going to be just the faintest. You'll see it. You'll see it on the ground. Yeah, it's not glowing super bright, but you'll see it.
Well, Diggin' Canuck says there's a Lamborghini in her neighborhood that color. She must live in the high rent district. Woohoo!
Absolutely. So, yeah, it's a cool shovel. And if you weren't the lucky winner tonight, you can always stop in the shop and get one. So,
yep.
And we're going to place an order.
Yeah, he's got some sweet ones there at the shop. You got Merlins, you got the wide spades, you got the standard spades. Yeah. You've got the hand diggers. So you've got the rounds there.
Yeah, and I like the idea of having two different spades on the Merlin. Having the wide bottom and the other bottom.
So what I did with Nugget Noggin is he didn't know if he wanted the D handle or the T handle. So I said, why don't you get both? So he got a D handle and a T handle. His is 40 inches long, and he's got both D and T handles to try on the wide spade. So he'll try both of them out, find which one he likes most, and that's what he'll head out to England with.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well,
I'm surprised Garrett didn't make them use their shovel.
Right? Yep.
Yeah. But, because they have one, but I think it's an import.
It's just not, it's not the strong steel, that's the difference with the Excalibur shovels is this metal is high strength aircraft grade steel. Their steel is, just the old school high carbon hardening process.
Yeah,
it's very good stuff, but it's not Excalibur good.
Yeah, and Excalibur doesn't say made in China on it.
Right? I can't believe Garrett. Come on, you should be doing it in the United States.
Well, they do most stuff in the United States.
Yeah, the Texas are, but it's an accessory, so I guess so. A lot of the manufacturers will do that. They'll send the necessity out. And I think, it reminds me of the white shovel that they used to have, and it was made in China too. So I
And
think
Well,
those
that may
things,
be what it was, Phil, because Garrett didn't come out with a shovel till after they already acquired whites. So
yes. So I think that's what they
um,
did. They
yeah,
just had them painted black and put their sticker on it and make it
and
with the same specs. Similar.
those rival the the most pictures I get of broken shovels. That white's one that's orange.
Yes.
People send me a picture of a broken shovel and what they're replacing. It's either too heavy what they have, or they broke another shovel when people are replacing them. And yeah, that white's one that's orange. Yeah, I've seen that one. Breaks down there at the hosel.
Yeah, and I've seen people bend them. Well, I've seen one of them bent, and it just had this crazy bending, and I kept wondering, well, what were you digging? This here in Florida,
Right.
it's mostly sand. Where you're at, you got a lot of rocks and stuff, but we're mostly in sand, and I just wonder sometimes, what are people digging here that they're bending a shovel like that?
Yeah, you gotta, it's your tool. You gotta care about it, so you can't just mindlessly stuff it in something and just start yanking. You gotta be methodical with your digging and take care of your stuff, and they'll take care of you for a very long time.
so
Absolutely.
Casey, that brings up a question: proper care for the shovel and the hand digger.
The one thing I would say is what I've said before: don't sharpen them, because there's a bevel on there that is self-sharpening. So you're going to get the longest use out of it. It's going to self-sharpen, and it's going to be just right for the longest amount of time. If somebody knows what they're doing, they could probably sharpen it. But what happens is, if you start sharpening your shovel, now you have to sharpen it all the time, because when you put heat in it, it softens the metal. And when you make it super sharp, like a lot of guys do, it's going to dull down, and they're not beveling it correctly. So you're just going to have to continually sharpen it. If you start sharpening them, just leave it alone. That's going to be your best bet with them.
So just if you come in from a hunt and it was muddy, or a lot of times it's real dusty and dirty, so just rinse it down.
Yeah, you could spray it off. You could even probably use like the easiest nozzle on a power washer and just blast it off, and that'll work just fine. And the powder coat will most likely all stay on, except for when you start digging a lot, it does start to wear off.
Mm-hmm.
The back of the shovel here and some of the front, but there's nothing really on earth you can coat it with. Yep. And yeah, mine, sometimes like I get dirt like building up on the handle or something, so I'll have to spray. I just spray it off with the hose, comes right off. The other thing is this is sealed. This takes so much extra time to cap and weld this and seal this shut. That's why nobody else does it. Because it takes so long to you got to cap it, you got to weld it, you got to clean it up. It's just so much easier to just have a machine just cut it and then put the ball clamp on the end and have it curve in. So that's the extra things that I do. So these are fully sealed shovels. You're not going to have them, filling up with dirt or water or whatever. They're sealed. So there's very little maintenance to be done. That's another thing that's just beautiful about them, is just low maintenance shovels. You can just keep it in your trunk of your car. You don't even have to worry about like your detector. You put it in the trunk and you could ruin it with the heat. So the shovel, you don't have to worry about getting them too hot or too cold, with normal temperatures.
So we got a question from the gals out west treasure hunting. They just want to know it doesn't rust.
So the powder coat pretty much blocks all that rust, but since it does come off the spade a little bit, you might see a light amount of rust on it occasionally. But the more you use it, the less it's going to have. But this steel is listed as a rust resistant steel. Mm-hmm. So even the lowest grade of stainless steel, I think it's like 300 series, it can lightly rust. So it's kind of comparable to that, but it's not stainless. Stainless is, you got to stay away from that for a shovel. But It's a rust resistant steel.
Hey, Tom, Becker's asking, can he put a light oil on it?
Yeah, you can put some oil on it. You could put some beeswax on it. You could beeswax it, something like that. That's going to be good. But these things right here, like they're just not going to rust. It's fully powder coated. That powder coat is super tough stuff. It's the best thing you can put on it. That's a coating, and so you're not going to have to really pretty much worry about that. I've seen them down in like Louisiana, and a guy sent me a picture one today from Louisiana, and there's no rust or anything on it. It's still fully powder coated after probably a year.
Yeah, I imagine if it got a little bit on the back of the shovel, the first sitting over the winter, the first time you used it, that would come right off.
Yeah, you could literally, the way it rusts is if you just wipe your hand on it. If you just literally just wipe your hand over it, now the rust is gone.
Yeah,
it's a very rust resistant steel.
Yeah, well, they
I mean,
are.
it's hard to you just can't hurt them.
Yeah,
I just don't think you can hurt them.
Yeah, I get, it scares me. I saw a video, right, a buddy sent me, Mike, if he signals, he made me this Key Date Kid hat. He sent me a picture of Bill Ladd like bashing my shovel into the frozen ground, and just, I was watching it. I was terrified that something would happen, but it didn't. Nothing happened to it. It held up strong for him. And he's critical on tools and detectors and everything. So I almost feel like I passed a test with Bill.
Well, I tell you what, and I don't think you've heard anybody have anything negative to say about the Excalibur shovels and diggers, have you, Phil? Because I certainly haven't.
No.
Everybody that has them loves them.
Yeah, they just love them. And I think the wide one is going to be more popular here because we have all that loose sand, and it's just easier, I think, with the wider shovel. And we got the St. Augustine wiregrass, or whatever you want to call it. And I think it cuts through it real nice. I mean,
does that have a deep root, the St. Augustine?
Yeah, it depends on if it's a manicured yard and they really water it good, it'll have a deep root.
Yeah. So you get the nice Cirque dual serration.
Mm-hmm.
You can chop through that St. Augustine.
Yes, cut a real nice thick plug out with it. So it works great for sure.
Yep. And I am shocked. Like, I just very thankful and knock on wood, everything like that, because I really do hear so many positive things about them, and it's amazing.
Well, it shows, Casey, in the time and the effort and the thought that you put in when you make a product. You test it, and you don't put any corners. And if somebody gets upset because they can't have it the next day, that's just the way it is. You're not going to compromise your standards, at all.
Yeah, pretty much most of them. If you order a shovel, it's going to ship within 1 to 2 business days. If you order one from Phil, and he doesn't have it in stock, it's still going to ship within 1 to 2 business days from when I'm notified.
We can do it, and hopefully we got it in stock. I try to keep them in stock so people can walk in. It's so nice when you can walk in a store and actually have a product there, and you can pick it up, feel it. And if they compare this to, I've got the Garrett one there. If you compare this to the Garrett, there's no comparison. But I mean, the Garrett, well, I'm not saying it's bad, but these are just so much nicer.
Yeah. Yep. They're good. They're still good tools, but if you can get something that much better, that's kind of why I do what I do. And honestly, if I didn't have a confidence in it, I wouldn't be doing it, because I don't want to be criticized or anything like that if something goes wrong. So I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't have, 100% confidence in it.
Yeah, and the more redos you do, it just takes that much longer, and then it eats into it.
I have a term for that. I'm not going to say it on here. It starts with fixing, but I don't want to do that, so, you just don't want to do it twice. You got to get it right the first time.
That's it, exactly.
Question here from Tom Becker. He said, I'm going to start hunting farm fields. He's up in Ohio. So he says, do I want a plain shovel or serrate it?
the thing is I look at it this way: whenever you need the serrations, they're like a lifesaver. And the Cirque, you know, I have left serrations, right serrations, and no serrations, but the Cirque is serrated on both edges, and I sell more of these than all the other serrations. You know, like one side, none, or right side or left side. I sell more of these than all the other ones combined, multiple times over. So when you need them, it sure comes in handy. I've gotten into some farmers' fields, and it's got alfalfa, and those roots are deep and they are tough. And if you didn't have these serrations, I would have been done. I would have been hating it out there. And so they really come through for you. It's a good thing to have. When people go to the plug issue, that they say that the plug is not as perfect when you dig it out with the serrated edges, but it really just depends upon the soil conditions. You know, if you're in that black dirt that's really, you know, like a clay, or that black dirt that's just really compact and organic, then you're gonna dig cleaner plugs as opposed to sandy and rocky spots.
Yeah, and one of the best things, I think gals out west, treasure hunting just commented, the best thing yet is it's made in the USA, 100%.
Yep, 100% made in the USA. And I make them all myself. It's one person making them. To me, it's like a future collector item, you know, from a wannabe Van Gogh.
You can tell there's some art ability in there. You know it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just a nice shovel. And so I guess we only have a few minutes left. Why don't you tell us some of your favorite finds?
Well, I got a couple here that I found this year. Check out this. This is here's a, gosh darn it, porcelain marble here.
Cool.
Nice.
China marble, really super sweet. Check out this. I found all this year. So I'm out there, you guys. I'm out there, you know, hunting just like everybody else. Let's see. There's a shield I found this year. Look how beautiful that is.
Oh,
nice
yeah.
shield nickel. Whoop, that way.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's 1868. Just a sweet shield nickel. Check out this one out here. This is in Utah. I'm finding this in Utah. Check this out. A hold 1845.
Nice.
Seated dime. And that was probably sewn in some pioneer's clothing or something like that. And, you know, incredible find. You know, it's just to find something that old. It's seriously incredible to me. Check out this. This is a 1894 Barber quarter, and you can see there it's been in some mineralization. You know, some mineral, whatever you say, is a highly mineralized soil.
Fertilizer or something got to it. Yeah,
it's, you know, this was at a mine, so there's just, you know, the tailings piles and things like that. Yep, you're gonna have a lot of different materials in it, but yeah, I've had a lot of crazy adventures and fun adventures and strange adventures. And I had one where I went out with a buddy and I told him, or we were detecting, and he likes to go to like 5 houses in a day and ask permission. And this particular day I found a couple wheat pennies and and I did find a silver ring. I found some neat stuff, but he had found like 5 silver dimes, you know, a Rosie and some Mercs. And, you know, we're going to the last house and he says something to me, and he called me, you know, a little something because he was beating me. And it's, to me, I'm not competitive. I don't compete out there like that. So it doesn't get to me. But so we get to this last house and, you know, he's been rubbing it in my face. He's got these 5 silver dimes, and we go around the side of the house, and I metal detect on the side of the house. And I ended up finding a 1 of 1, only one known to exist, saloon token from it's historic 25th Street in Ogden, Utah. It's the gambling gambling, prostitution, drinking section of Ogden back in the day. It was from 1900 to 1902, so the business was only open for about a year and a half. And it's a one-of-a-kind token. It's the only one known from that street that has 8 scallops on it. It's an 8 scallop. It is a super special one-of-one token. The proprietor, I was reading newspaper articles on the proprietor, and he got arrested and jailed for selling alcohol on Sunday.
Well, I think we lost Phil.
He's had enough. See, that's what happens. I always want to tell my stories, and I just drive everybody crazy because I'm talking about treasure hunting all the time.
Hey, Patty Disharoon. Sorry, Patty, your name was called. You were the winner earlier, but you didn't. You weren't watching and didn't meet the time frame, so we drew another one. Sorry, girl. Well, Casey, it's time for us to boogie anyway, but stay on. I want to talk to you a little bit.
Okay.
And everybody, we lost Phil. Probably the storm is going crazy down there. And so far, it's not here yet, but I'm about 3 hours north of him. So hopefully everyone will be safe. We'll do our best to have Treasure Tales on Thursday night, but that's all dependent on the storm. And I think I'm probably going to bug out and kind of head west because it's supposed to come right over. And if it takes the house, it takes the house. You know, I'm going to take my Excalibur shovels and my metal detectors and put them in the car and take them with me. So, you know, they're not going to claim those. So anyways, thanks for watching tonight. Yeah, Phil just texted me, no internet. I figured that. So anyway, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. We will be back next week on Treasure Talk. Let's see who we've got next week. That is going to be October 3rd, and that's going to be Steve Moore from Garrett. So that'll be good. And then on Treasure Tales, we've got Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We are going to have, and that will be in, that is September the 29th. We got the big three that just got back from Scotland. Billy Keane, Bruno Rosa, and Sean Roush. They just got back from Scotland, I think maybe this last weekend. So they're going to have some really good Treasure Tales for us. We hope to see everybody there. So with that being said, thanks for watching tonight, and happy hunting and dig deeper. Good night, everybody.
Happy digging.